We okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing roll call on the approval of the minutes from the December 8th meeting.
Cook, aye. Knogle? Aye. Curran?
Aye.
Nunn?
Aye.
McMasters?
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye. Motion carried. Moving on to the consent agenda.
Mr. President and the board, this is the consent agenda. Contains those items that are repetitive and routine in nature. Any member may make a motion to approve the consent agenda or request that any of the items be moved to section 7 for individual discussion and consideration.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion?
Do we want to list the gifts?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We will go through. There are several gifts that have been made to the district. I wanted to talk about. Jimmy John's has agreed again to support our Student of the Month program. I think that's wonderful. We do 2 students per building per month, and they provide full meals to them. We wanted to give you a strong thanks to Jimmy John's for that. Wells Fargo has made another classroom gift to Grigsby, a teacher at the Grigsby. And there's something called the Samaritan's Feet that they are going to donate 175 pairs of shoes to our district for certain children we've identified. So we're really happy those people have found a place that they could help, and they can help the kids in our district. We're just thrilled with that. So I wanted to thank them all personally.
Okay, thank you. Okay, roll call.
Knogle? Aye. Curran?
Aye.
Nunn?
Aye.
McMasters?
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer?
Aye.
Cook, aye. Jones?
Aye. Motion carried. Moving on to recommendations and communications, human resources. Item A, retirements and resignations.
Mr. President and the board, it is recommended that the following retirements and resignations be accepted. Mr. Michael Murphy, custodian, retired effective 12/31/2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Roll call.
Curran?
Aye.
Nunn?
Aye.
McMasters?
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer?
Aye.
Cook, aye. Knogle? Aye. Jones?
Aye. Motion carried. We probably should.
Yeah. Okay, so
Hold on. Item B is is leaves of absence.
I apologize.
No, you're good.
Mr. President of the board, it is recommended that the following leaves of absence be approved. I hope I did this right. Tanya Thwett, effective 1/4/21 to 2/5/21. Alejandro Cortez Ramirez, effective 12/15/20 to 1/8/21. Catherine Delmore, 1/19/21 to 4/6/21. Mary Wright, 1/19/21 to 4/6/21. Bonnie Swanson, effective 1/19/21 to 4/6/21. Paula Hummel Wilder, 1/19/21 to 4/6/21. Alice Bozarth Downing, 1/19/21 to 4/6/21. Carol Macius, 1/19/21 to 4/6/21. Shannon McBride, 1/19/21 to 4/6/21. Jill Schillinger, 1/4/21 to 5/21. Angela Wampler, 1/12/21 to 4/6/21. It is recommended those for approval.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Aye, Joel.
Okay. Roll call.
Nunn?
Aye.
McMasters?
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer?
Aye.
Cook, aye. Knogle? Aye. Curran?
Aye.
And Jones?
Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item C, creation of GCHS Secondary Honors Coordinator for the 2020-2021 school year.
Mr. President of the board, you have received detailed information about this item. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. Should I read the bottom part?
Sure.
Right. At the union's request, the Secondary Honors Coordinator was put through the extracurricular rubric to review student participation in related activities. As a result, the Secondary Honors Coordinator could be created and placed at club level C on the extracurricular salary schedule effective for the 2021 school year. It is recommended for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. I'll just start. So just to let everybody know, there has been a Secondary Honors Coordinator for decades. Amy Heath has typically filled that role, but that role was never a paid position. She wasn't actually ever paid on a stipend. So that's what this is doing. It's putting that position on the stipend schedule through the extracurriculars.
There's quite a bit of work that goes into that position that she has done on a volunteer basis for
many, many, many years, for
Right.
which we are very grateful for all of the
Absolutely.
work that Ms. Heath continues to do.
Yes. Parker, is there anything else you wanted to add, or?
No, I think you guys just summed it up perfect.
Okay, sounds good. Any other questions from the board? Okay, roll call.
McMasters,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer,
Aye.
Cook, aye. Knogle, aye. Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Jones.
Aye, motion carried. Item D, extracurricular assignments for elementary third quarter lunch duty 2020 to 2021.
Mr. President of the Board, you have been received detailed information about this item below. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The elementary administration is recommending the following extracurricular assignments for the 2021 school year. There are a lot of them. They are listed in front of you.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Wilmsmeyer,
Aye.
Cook, aye. Knogle, aye. Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
McMasters,
Aye.
Jones.
Aye, motion carried. Item E, employment of 2 first grade teachers for the 2021-2022 school year.
Mr. President and members of the board, you have received detailed information about this item below. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. Due to 2 retirements, the Tier 1 interviewing committee consisted of Mr. Mark Lull and Ms. Lisa Whitaker, recommended the following candidates for a Tier 2 interview. From those, the recommended positions are for Joshua Postel and Carly Valencia.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Cook, aye. Knogle, aye. Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
McMasters,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer,
Aye.
and Jones.
Aye, motion carried. Item F is the Tier 2 interviews for the Supervisor of Facilities Management position. That will be held for executive session. We'll do interviews, and then if the board decides to hire them, we'll come back into open session and make that hiring. So moving on to item G is the certified and classified substitute.
Mr. President of the board, you have received detailed information below about this item. The administration is definitely prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. It is recommended that the following applicants be board approved as substitutes for the 2021 school year. Classified subs, Mr. Doug Morris and Ms. Helen Thomas. Classified Gerald Cockrell.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
McMasters,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer,
Aye.
Cook, aye. Knogle, aye. Jones.
Aye, motion carried. Item H is the policies, which you all should have in front of you. It's not under HR, it's under, it's under HR.
Right? I apologize.
No, that's okay.
Okay, I'm going to read them all. I'm just going to read them.
You don't have to read them at all,
Oh, okay, then
just like the intro.
Mr. President of the board, the following policies. The committee has reviewed the following policies and recommends the following amended policies. They are listed in front of you. If you have any questions,
And those were the ones that were approved by the policy committee at the last meeting.
that is correct.
I wanted to ask, the ones that are in, the print is in blue, that's just the link, right? to the
That is correct.
Bigger
So that's,
policy.
yes. Yep. So I do need a motion and a second to approve the policy.
So moved.
Second. Second. Bill. Give it to Bill.
Yes, Bill.
He's delayed. Give it
It's hard to get in when you're.
Yeah, it's true.
Is there any discussion or questions on the policies? Anybody?
It's all pretty clear.
Okay.
Nunn,
Aye.
McMasters,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer,
Aye.
Cook, aye. Knogle, aye. Curran,
Aye.
and Jones.
Aye, motion carried. There is no old business, so we'll move on to new business. Item A is the Spring Evening Academy assignments.
Mr. President of the board, you've received detailed information about this item below. Administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The following teachers have been assigned Evening Academy assignments. Kyle Kozer, Kim Lignell, Aaron Wirtz, Kristen Douglas, Lindsay Doolittle, Brian Delp, Liz Sissio, Peggy Wilson, Trina Zidleroff, Scott Smalley, Krista Forrester, Lisa Moore, Laura Sullivan, Doug Barlin, Chris Hutchings, Christy Moat, and Scott Brown. Due to holidays, there are more Tuesdays and Thursdays in the semester than Monday and Wednesdays. That is why some teachers may actually have more of a different stipend than another. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion or question? Roll call.
McMasters,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer,
Aye.
Cook, I. Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
and Jones.
Aye, motion carried. Item B is the South 7 Conference from 2023 to 2026.
Mr. President of the Board, the Athletic Director, Mr. John Mode, received an invitation on behalf of the South 7 Conference, extending an invitation to schedule Granite City High School for a 4-year contract in football beginning in the 2023 season and extending it through 2026. These games will take place during weeks 2 through 8 of the school year. At the end of the 2024 season, the South 7 Conference members will visit the idea of offering an invitation to both Collinsville and Granite City to become members of the South 7 Conference in football beginning in 2025. We currently don't have enough for schedules. This is a really nice invitation we received. John was very excited about it, so approval is recommended.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Is there anybody on there who's either John or anybody? No.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask the question, if John's on, which other
No.
schools are involved in this?
Oh, do you have the invitation with you? That'd be great. There's actually 6 of them. I don't know why it's called the Southwest 7. There are 6 schools.
Darren might know. Is Mr. Depew on?
Probably not.
Oh, yeah, I do. Hold on.
Oh, okay, 'cause I
Got it right in here.
Yeah, I think.
I know
Why?
it's schools that are closer in
There's some that
number,
are far,
as far
but
as-
it's like not every year that you play them, so the distance isn't every year that you play them.
Okay. Do you want me to read them out?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Please.
Okay. We've got Althoff Catholic, Cahokia, Carbondale, Centralia, Marion, and Mount Vernon.
Yeah, Marion. Some of them were further, but they're not every year. And just to be a part of a conference that we could be competitive is.
Sure.
Yeah, and I mean, football specifically on a Friday night, the
Right,
longer travel is
exactly.
as much as those factors.
Good point. Good there, Saturday.
Okay, any other questions or thoughts? Roll call.
Wilmsmeyer,
Aye.
Cook, I. Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
McMasters,
Aye.
Jones.
Aye, motion carried. Item C is the proposed change to the 2020-2021 school calendar, and I believe Superintendent Can, you would like to table that?
Right, so we have some more information from the state.
Okay, so we're waiting on some info from ISB before we
That
vote
is
on that.
correct.
Tom, do we need to make a motion to table?
Yes.
Okay, I need a motion to table.
So moved.
Second?
Any questions? Okay, roll call.
Cook, I. Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
McMasters,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer,
Aye.
and Jones.
Aye, motion carried, or, sorry, tabled, not carried. Okay, and then moving on to reports and other communications. Item A, Freedom of Information Act requests.
Mr. President of the Board, we have received one request under the Freedom of Information Act during the period of December 2nd, 2020 through January 5th, 2021. The request was received on December 14th, 2020 from Kazaran of Local Labs, which is the publisher of the Prairie State Wire, an online publication that reports on and informs the public about local governmental activities. He requested the following: date on your elected boards and officials, data on your elected boards and officials. Additionally, requesting the name, term start date, term end date, salary, and email address of the board. This request was handled by administration.
Did you give them our salary?
Yeah.
Christopher?
Because I want a raise.
Did you give them our salary? Double.
100%.
You
Zero
guys get
times
so
zero
much,
is
I
zero.
know.
I know.
I mean, it's so, I don't know if you can afford it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Greenwald used to tell us the check was in the mail.
Yeah, check.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Superintendent Can. So that takes us to executive session. Exceptions noted under 5 ILCS 120-2, open meetings, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body, 2C1, student disciplinary matters, 2C9, the purchase or lease of real property for use by the public body or setting price thereof, 2C5 and 6, collective bargaining matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, 2C2, Litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed is probable or imminent. 2C11, to discuss school building safety and security procedures. 2C8, and student safety. 2C8. Tonight we have Tier 2 interviews for the Supervisor of Facilities Management position, which is being held under 2C1. We also have another conversation about social media, district information, that's under 2C1, and then potentially a collective bargaining on the calendar to discuss, which has been tabled until the next meeting. So, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We are in executive session.